Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another podcast episode. My name is Javia Monet, the host of the Echoes of the Void podcast, where I help you explore spirituality from all aspects, recognize your potential, and energize your passion to align with your highest self. What if you're not living your life forward, but remembering it backwards? What if intuition is just your future self whispering beyond the veil? This episode will break your mind open. It's not about awakening. It's about remembering what you've already lived in a loop outside of time. Time is such a linear construct that has been forced upon us through constant programming. Let's break out of that. Let's really ponder the idea of what we're capable of. Today, we're diving deep into a mind-bending concept that will change everything you thought you knew. Everything you thought you knew about time, memory, and your soul's journey. This episode is for those who have felt that eerie sensation, the ones who maybe weren't so sure and you've always been here, done this, seen this, and even felt this before, but you're like, I don't know, I'm having a lot of deja vu here, but I've definitely not did this before. Yeah, welcome to the real world. What if nothing is linear? What if your future is actually your soul's past? Today, we're going to explore how time isn't real and how everything in your life is looping. It's a constant loop, a loop of ideas, loops of streams of consciousness. Your life is constantly looping, and it's not looping forward, but backward. Stick with me, because by the end of this episode, you'll see reality through a whole new lens. Let's get into it. Segment 1, the memory you call life. So let's talk about time. When we live in a world where everything feels like it's happening in a straight line, you're born, you grow, you experience, you die. What if that's just an illusion? What if the life you're experiencing right now isn't even your first time around? What if you've done this all before? What if the world that you go into to dream is actually the real world that you're from? What if? Can we start asking what if? I want to take you back to an ancient concept that has been whispered about in spiritual circles for centuries. Soul contracts. I think they call it Akashic records. And the glitches of reality we call the Mandela effect. These concepts point to one thing: time is not linear. What if everything you think is now has actually already happened? You're just here to remember. Here to choose differently this time. This life, you've already lived it. Actually, you may have lived it several times in several different timelines. You're just here to remember how to choose differently this time. Choose different. You don't have to be stuck in the person that you have been. Become the person that you want to be. Maybe, just maybe, you didn't get everything right in the last iteration, and that's okay, but you're here now. Be here now. And do what you said you were going to do. Maybe, just maybe, you didn't learn all of the lessons. And so you're back. Back in this body, back in this world, back in this life. But this time you have more awareness. This time you're able to make more of your own choices. You have more tools, more wisdom. Your soul already knows how it all ends. It all ends with death, quote unquote. It's just waiting for you to catch up. Catch up to what you already know. You already know it all. You just got to do it. Do the arm and leg work, because there's a delay in this world. But the world that we're from, there's not. It's so interesting. We have souls and we have bodies. We have souls and these avatars, these meat skins that we can take control of with our souls. And then we die and our souls go elsewhere and this body is still left here. What? Tell me that's not a miracle. So the next time that you feel a deep pull to something, ask yourself, is it new or is it just a memory resurfacing itself? Segment 2, Déjà vu. When timelines cross. Déjà vu is that strange moment where everything aligns so perfectly and you're hit with such an unsettling feeling of, I've been here before. But is it just a glitch in your mind? Or is it a glimpse into another timeline? Let's talk about it. Sometimes our dreams are more than just stories that our minds create. Sometimes they're echoes of places we've already been. You know those dreams that feel so real that they stay with you throughout the entire day? The reoccurring visions that make you think, I've seen this before. Here's my question to you. Is it intuition or is it memory? What if, don't kill the messenger, those fleeting moments of deja vu are your soul's way of reminding you you've done this before. You've done all of this before. In my book, Walk Between Worlds, I said, you didn't forget your purpose. You just woke up in the middle of your own echo. You didn't lose your way. You're just reconnecting with the parts of yourself from past lives, those moments that seem destined. Those moments that seem destined, even those moments that are in your future, that feel like they're so far in your future that they're unattainable, realize that they've already happened. Speak about them as if they have already happened, and guess what? They will. They will. Affirming ideas, affirming everything that you want to come to fruition will change your life. So do that. These thoughts and ideas, they're not just intuition. It's your soul's recollection of what's already been. You've already been here. You've already done all of this. Don't stress yourself. You're literally an infinite being. Who cares? Segment 3. You're the architect, not the passenger. I had a very interesting conversation with a very, 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 very close friend of mine. And we were talking about observing versus perceiving. We were talking about how technically we're still a part of the matrix because we have to play this game of earning money and then spending money and then living in a box and all of that different type of stuff. But ultimately we're above the matrix because we're observing ourselves doing those things and still making choices in order to get ourselves out of doing those things, if that makes sense. So what if you're not just a passenger in this ride of life? What if you're the architect, the builder? What if you built the blueprint? What if you designed the entire experience? What if you chose your parents? What if you decided what negative things happen to you? What positive things happen to you? What even is positive and negative? Everything's just a frequency. It's just things moving. It isn't even good or bad. It's not that life is happening to you. It's happening from you. You wrote it, and you wrote it intentionally to teach yourself lessons. Take master accountability over your life, and your life will change. You came here to remember that you hold the map. You hold the compass. What if everything, the pain, the joy, the twists and turns was a part of a predestined blueprint that you wrote yourself? Let's start asking what if. A loop you choose to experience in order to remember your true power. What if? What if? You don't have to believe in it. You don't even have to know it. You can just ask, what if? And see where that takes your mind. Listen to your thoughts. See, there's nothing wrong with exploring ideas. What if this is all a loop that you chose to experience in order to remember your true power? Trevion Adams said in his book, the present isn't a moment, it's a portal. It's a portal. Because it's the only thing that you get to choose. The only thing you get to choose is the thing that you're doing right this second. This moment, it isn't an isolated point in time. It's a doorway that you're walking through constantly. That's the reason why in the movie Soul, at the end of it, he walks through a door. When he comes back to the earth, he walks through a door. It's a portal. It's a portal that you've walked through so many times. Every single day, every choice you make, every moment, is a portal. And when you understand that, you realize that what feels like failure is just a plot twist. It's all just you saying, okay, that didn't work, so I'm gonna try this instead. Yeah, that's it. You're not broken. You're not lost. You're not breaking character. You're just remembering how to be who you truly are beyond the limitations of the human experience. Segment 4. What would change if you knew that you already chose this? Now I want to ask you something deeply powerful. And this is just a question. You ain't got to seek offense from it or nothing, okay? What would change if you knew beyond a shadow of a doubt, not a mustard seed of doubt, that you already chose this life? You chose the pain. You chose the lessons. You chose the people. You chose it all, not out of punishment, but out of love for your soul's evolution. You're evolving daily. You picked the plot twists. You chose them. What if you picked the pain to evolve? You picked the people to reflect back to your wounds and your wisdom. What if you chose all of that? What if? What if instead of resisting the things that hurt, you embrace them as signposts saying, hey, don't go that way? Why does everything have to be seen as bad? Why can't it just be seen as a redirection? That's okay. What if instead of fearing your struggles, you understood that they were always part of the pain? What if this was a dream that you had already seen, how would you play it this time? Honestly, are you even in the game? What if you didn't even need to fight because you've already won? Segment 5, a spoken word activation. This is an activation, a reminder of your eternal nature. I want you to close your eyes, take a deep breath. Maintain a sense of peace, clarity. Let go of any negative thoughts and feelings right now. We'll return to those later. Let go of any to-do lists. We'll return to those later. Just take a moment, unless you're driving. Take a moment and breathe. Repeat after me. I was here before I had breath. I saw myself before I had skin. And I wrote this script in stars and silence, just to remember how infinite I've always been. Let that sink in. You're not just a body. No, you're not just a moment. You're a timeless soul, experiencing life in loops, always coming back to remember your power. You're infinite. Remember that. All right, y'all, it's time for a song. First, we're gonna do a flip out of my book, Walk Between Worlds. You can purchase your copy below. Anytime that I flip to a page in this book and I read it out loud to you, it is what you need to hear in that current moment. So far, that's what it's been. If it's not what you needed to hear, then comment that. If it is what you needed to hear, then comment that down below. Flip. The dance between intuition and doubt. Intuition is that quiet, unwavering voice within us, the one that speaks before our minds start questioning, doubting, and overthinking. It feels like a deep knowing, an inner compass that guides us even when the path ahead is unclear. But intuition is subtle, almost too quiet to be noticed amidst the noise of the world. And that's where the challenge lies. We have to be willing to trust it, to recognize it, to listen to it, even when doubt and fear rise up with louder voices. When we tune into our intuition, we are listening to the language of the soul. It doesn't speak with words, but with feelings, sensations, and synchronicities. The more we trust it, the clearer it becomes. But when we doubt, When we second guess, we create a wall of noise that drowns out the inner guidance. Intuition can't be forced. It doesn't follow logic or reason. It just simply is. The dance between intuition and doubt is not about choosing one over the other, but learning to navigate both. Doubt is natural. It's the ego's protective mechanism. It's attempt to keep us safe from the unknown. But intuition is the voice of the soul, the one that pushes us beyond our comfort zones, beyond the limits we've been placed on ourselves. Learning to tell the difference between these two voices is key to tapping into our inner guidance. To trust your intuition is to surrender to the unknown. It's the step into uncertainty without needing all of the answers. It's to follow the pull of your heart, even when your mind says it doesn't make sense. The more you practice listening to it, the clearer your intuition will become, and the more you will find yourself walking with greater ease on the path of your soul's purpose. This one's called 10th Dimensional. Take me to the R&B records, my heart's tethered in gold. Covered in gems, identifying with soul. Cover me in shells, a snail, we move slow. Our slow is fast compared to distractions of competition. Confident and competent, redefining the mission. Flowing in consciousness, we making godly decisions. Reflections of each other, yeah, we breaking every ceiling. Casting every vision and rewriting every limit. Transcended, happy, physical, left the three-dimensional, flowing through it, flowing through it, 10th dimensional, living in a sessional, left the three-dimensional, flowing through it, flowing through it.
I used to dream with my eyes wide open. Soul on fire, heart hoping.
Here's the conclusion. As we wrap up today's journey, I want to leave you with this. This isn't happening to you. This is happening from you. Take a moment to reflect on that. Pause. And then ask yourself, the question isn't who you are. The question is, when are you? Thank y'all so much for being here with me today. If this episode shifted your perspective, I'd love to hear your thoughts. You can connect with me on social media. That's JAIVIAMONEA. Don't forget to subscribe to Echoes of the Void for more deep dives into the mysteries of life, the soul, and everything in between. Until next time, remember, you've always known the answers. You're just here to remember. So, as always, embrace the void.